Have you ever thought what makes one person play better chess than another? What is it that grandmasters have and you don't? Well, the simple answer to this is the ability to spot good moves quickly. Selecting a good move is a remarkably complex task, but in this video, I'm going to reveal the shortcuts that grandmasters use to play the best moves in any position. Over the years, I've studied numerous Grandmaster games, and this is like a summary of all my learnings. If you can implement these in your games, then you will definitely become a better chess player. Okay, so recently I had shared this quote on my Instagram page, and it is absolutely true. Look, in any given position, you can have 30 or even 40 legal moves. You cannot evaluate each and every one of them. That's where you need to understand the concept of candidate moves. When you look at all the move options, there are some that make your position worse, so you can automatically rule them out. Then there are some moves which do not harm you, but still you can reject them because they don't make much sense. Eventually, as you get better, you learn to recognize moves that are possibly good. These are the ones that we call candidate moves. They are the finalists in your move selection process. How many candidate moves do you think grandmasters evaluate? Any idea? 4, 5 or 6 maybe? Let's reveal a secret. In most cases, grandmasters do not look beyond 2 or 3 candidate moves. Those experts who tell you to evaluate all sorts of moves are just bluffing you. It is almost impossible for a human to calculate all variations for more than 3 or 4 candidates, especially considering the strict time controls these days. If you're wondering how can you restrict your analysis to just 2 or 3 candidates, then just follow the shortcuts that I'm going to share with you now. This is what the masters use to find the best moves. The first thing that grandmasters look for are forcing moves. A forcing move is one which requires the opponent to reply in a certain way or which greatly limits the ways in which he can respond. So basically, forcing moves can be checks, captures or threats. These are like your one move, two move tactics. You should always look for such moves first because somehow it is easier to spot them in the first few minutes. Surprisingly, this is how our brains work. The more you study a position, the less you will see tactically. To learn more about tactics, you can check out this video by clicking on the I button above. Let's move on to another important technique that grandmasters use to find the best moves, and that is relying on general principles. Grandmasters often justify their moves by citing fundamental chess values such as pawns should capture towards the center, rook belong on the 7th rank, knights are most effective near the center, etc. etc. You can often play a general principle move without much thought because its value has been proven over centuries. That's what experts call conventional chess wisdom. The degree to which grandmasters rely on general principles often astonishes other players. An average player may calculate variation after variation and still not be convinced with his move. Whereas in the same situation, a grandmaster will play a very basic but effective move and justify it by simply saying, I didn't want to double my pawns or my rook needed an open file. That's what is admirable about grandmasters. They simplify even the most complex positions. So always remember the golden rule. Keep it simple. This will help you not only in chess but even in life. Anyways, now let's look at another cue that grandmasters often use to find candidate moves. And that is to look for problem pieces on the board. Problem pieces here refer to your opponent's strong pieces and your own weak pieces. For example, your opponent's knight might be stronger than your knight, simply because it is controlling more squares or maybe it is placed much better. You need to look for moves to exchange such pieces, especially when you cannot find any other attractive candidates. Also, sometimes when you can't trade off your worst piece, you should at least try to reposition it on a better square in order to develop and create opportunities for future moves. At times, it might be difficult for you to analyze whether you are selecting the right candidates or not. To help you out in your learning process, I would like to share a really helpful tool that I came across recently, and it's called DecodeChess. On their website, you can simply import the games you want to analyze, and then once you click on this decode button, you will see a great explanation of what the engine recommends. The beauty about this is that unlike other chess engines, this explains everything in simple human language. You can activate some additional features by clicking on this plus button, which creates some more tabs like these. If you scroll down, you can find details of the major threats, and further down, you can understand how to find the best moves in this position. Through these tabs, you can identify piece roles, analyze threats, evaluate plans, and understand tactical concepts. From here, you can even play against a human-like opponent and decode each move as you play. All in all, this app provides you with a lot of information which can be used to improve your understanding of the game. You can register for free and try it out, and if you like it, then you can buy their unlimited access plan. We have partnered with them and they've agreed on a special discount for all Chess Talk viewers. You can avail this for a limited time period by using the coupon code ChessTalk. All links are in the video description. Moving on, one more thing that stands out in Grandmaster games is their magical ability to play brilliant moves without much thinking. At times they even go against the general principles that we discussed earlier. That's strange, isn't it? But let's try to understand how this happens.
In most aspects of my chess life, that will simply be the answer. I know and I don't know why I know, or I think, but I don't know why I think that, because at some point it all becomes very, very intuitive.
Yes, the great Magnus Carlsen himself admitted that it's the power of intuition at work. But intuition is not a gift just for the Grandmasters. There is a lot more to it. You obviously need to have a good feel for the game, but you can also develop your intuitive capabilities. The best way to do this is to study the master games. This will help you recognize critical patterns and eventually come up with moves that you might not have even thought of earlier. Now let's discuss about another practice that Grandmasters follow, and that is to be consistent. Even when there are no obvious cues to justify a move, you might feel a particular candidate is right just because it fits in well with your previous moves. And that's what consistency is all about. In summary, all moves that you make should align with each other, which means they should be part of an overall plan. It sounds simple to be consistent, but it isn't. Sometimes while playing a game, we do not realize whether our 24th move fits in with the 23rd or 25th, for example. After the game, it's very easy to see everything clearly, but during the game, you have to play one move at a time. Therefore, you should always make a conscious effort to be consistent with your moves and plans. All these pointers are very helpful, but don't forget to pay attention to your opponent's last move. Even in positions where there are no clear tactics, your opponent's last move can trigger a game-changing candidate. I have made a complete video on this topic, so don't forget to watch it by clicking on the I button above. Okay, now let me give you a quick reality check. No matter how good a player you become, you should not get obsessed about finding the best move always, because at times it might not even exist. In most positions, there are several good moves that look equally good, but you only have to choose one of them. While playing a move, you need to balance out between the element of risk and time. So ultimately, your aim should be to simply find a move that you can play with some degree of confidence and hope that it is the best. Okay, so it's puzzle time. In this position, you need to find the best move continuation for white. If you're able to find the solution to this puzzle, then share it in the comments below. I'm reading all your comments and will give them a heart if your explanation is correct. All the best, guys. Let's see how many of you can solve this. Well, don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't yet subscribed, then subscribe now. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in my next video.